friends from the edible insects channel Skyfood. I'm here in Cambodia, Siem in the most famous insect restaurant you can have here. I was yesterday eating here, perfect quality, and I think it's one of the restaurants that is foremost in the fusion of authentic food from the country where this restaurant is, with Western style ideas about eating. And I'm happy to present to you the owner of the Box Cafe, Davy Blouzard, together with his companion Marie-Jolene Blouzard. He opened this restaurant. When did it open, actually?
We opened in July 2014.
So that's a fast...
3 years now.
3 years now.
3 years ago.
And what was actually the concept at the beginning?
Oh, it was exactly the same. It was my cousin's idea. We wanted to show that it's possible to make quality cooking with insects. It's a traditional thing here. People talk more and more about it because it's good for health, it's good for the planet. There are many good reasons to eat insects, but it's always cooked the same way. And when you find some on the street, here in Thailand, in Leo, in China, it's just fried and fried again, not always very safe, sadly. So, we thought there was something a bit more interesting to do with this kind of food. We wanted to treat the insects like any other food, in fact. And so we hired a real chef. His name is Hassan. He's a wonderful chef. He used to work for the Sofitel before. He's Cambodian, and we are French. And we tried to have fun together. So as you said, it's a mix between Western and Asian cooking. And and that's what we do since the beginning.
You have big success, especially with the Western clients, I see, yesterday also. So this is more a restaurant for people who are interested from the tourist side of the clients.
Definitely. Our point is to make people who don't know anything about insects try it. So it's mainly tourists, of course. We have people from all around the world. All Europe, the US and Canada, North America, Southern America.
Also, yeah.
No, not many
so
Koreans. But we have people from Asia. We have Japanese, people from Hong Kong, Taiwan, China a bit, more and more. Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines also, many.
So it's a fantastic place to eat. I can say that because I was here yesterday.
Thank you, that's really nice.
It was a real good creation.
I'm glad you liked
Congratulations for that. And what actually is your biography coming to this Box Cafe? Did you actually were born here in
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, I'm not Khmer, I'm French. I was born in Macon. Before I used to run shopping malls, so it has nothing to see with the restauration. Yeah. But as I said, my cousin had the idea of the restaurant, and she used to run a big hotel here in Siem Reap, in fact. She's been working for hospitality for a long time now. And many of our customers wanted to discover this kind of food, but they didn't know where to go. The only place where they could go to was...
There are no other restaurants here serving insect food, huh? This is kind of a private thing for the people here.
Yes,
that they buy it at the market and prepare it at home. Yeah?
Exactly, and or you can... most of the time you eat it, you can buy it already prepared on the street.
Yeah.
You have two restaurants that also serve insects, but in a more traditional way.
Okay.
And it's only a few dishes, but that is as much specialized as we are. We're the only one.
So this is an interesting way of fusing the ideas of both sides of the cooking planet here. Was it actually also because in Europe the discussion about edible insects started in this time, 2014? Because now that's a big wave of public interest in the topic in Europe. Everybody's discussing it. Switzerland is the first nation to introduce insects as edible animals, 1st of May this year. There are no products at the moment on the market, but slowly coming. This could help also your business here and the idea of sustainable food with insects.
Well, it's becoming more and more relevant, actually, yes. When we started, the FAO, the food organization related to the United Nations, stated that insects could be the food of the future. So it started getting bigger and bigger. This idea of that this kind of food can be a wonderful solutions to many problems that are caused by traditional meat. And I'm not an extremist, you know. I love meat. I love beef, pork, chicken, everything. But when you start gathering information about this, you realize that we cannot go like that forever. We eat too much meat. The meat demands space, it demands feed, demands water, it emits greenhouse gases, and more than vehicles or industry. That's a big problem. And very soon, all these Asian people who actually, who currently eat insects, are going to eat meat when they get richer, which is going to be a bigger problem.
Yeah, of course.
So
that's about the report from 2013 of the FAO about edible insects, future prospect for the food security globally. Yeah.
So it's when my cousin got this idea. After she talked to me about that. I started documenting, and yes, I realized that it might be a wonderful idea. This restaurant is kind of a first step for people who have never tried insects. We want them to realize that it can be a pleasure to eat them.
Okay. Your chef just now, he's out buying spiders on the market.
Absolutely.
So where do you get all the other insects from that are presented on your menus?
Well, before opening the restaurant, we traveled all around Cambodia for something like 2 months to try everything, to taste everything. We tasted some horrible things, I can tell you.
Really? What kind of horrible? Just
well, for example,
spoiled food? Or
no, not spoiled, but cooked in a way that is very far from our habits.
Oh, okay.
For example, you tasted the giant water bug yesterday, which looks like a big cicada like that. We tasted this one for the first time in the very early morning at 7 a.m., something like that, in a small village, and it was almost raw.
Oh, raw.
Just a bit boiled, and that was difficult. I can tell you.
So it depends on in what swamp it was raised there.
Most probably, and once again, like any other food, it depends on the way it's cooked.
Yeah.
So. But most of the time we buy everything from rice farmers, people who work in the forest, people on countryside. They hunt it for themselves first and to feed their families. When they have too many, they sell it to us.
There are a lot of light traps around Siem Reap also.
Absolutely.
This morning I was visiting one. They had 10 light traps. They get around 3 kilograms of insects from that. That's a lot, you know.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah,
so it's also part of the income of the rural population.
Yes.
Eating insects here seems to be very popular also for normal Cambodia.
It is, and they also send some in Thailand and in China. Yeah. And now we buy also some food also. And you know, for a few families here, it's a real help. It's a complementary source of income.
Livelihood.
And I can tell you that these guys need it for real.
So that's one thing on your list about the bees, the Apis dorsata, the giant honey bees that you also present here.
No, we only serve bee larvae.
The larvae of them, yes. So this is a very big delicacy around the world in every country. So where are the bee hunters that you have them from?
Most of the time it's the same. Away? It's wild. Wild caught. It's taken from the forest most of the time. This is something you can do quite often here in Cambodia. They cook really the piece of nest on the barbecue like that. So we make it a bit differently because it would not fit the Western mouth, I would say, the Western taste. But it's something quite usual.
But this you cannot get every day. These insects are a lot seasonal. Do you keep them frozen here?
Yes, absolutely.
Mostly like
we freeze everything. We have to because, well, as you said, it's not an industry. You cannot find all the insects like that just
every day,
snapping. And so. We freeze everything at minus 20 degrees. It keeps the taste and the texture. There's no problem. And anyway, we cannot have a zoo in the kitchen. We cannot keep the insects alive. It would be smelly. It would be dirty. It would not be safe. So that's the way we do it.
So food safety is one of the concerns in the European community about eating insects.
Absolutely.
Big discussed. What is your opinion about food safety with insects?
I think, generally, I think Europe goes too far. Now we have really too many laws and rules, and I think it goes too far. And especially, this is a good example. Insects I've run this restaurant for 3 years now. We never had a single problem, but we did that empirically. We are not scientists, so we just trusted the local people. We only serve what is eaten here on a daily basis, and it works. Nobody died, nothing ever happened. If you document a bit, you know that people who have an allergy to seafood should avoid insects. And that's it. Insects are absolutely not dangerous, but it's going to take decades to Europe to make it legal, and I think it's a waste of time and resources. Next year, Europe is going to open its borders to insects, but I went to a conference in Thailand where they were explaining to Thai producers all the criteria they will have to match if they want to export insects. And I can tell you, it's crazy. It's way too much. And of course, these small insect producers are going to it's going to be hard for them. They will have to regroup, and so it will become an industry with everything that brings.
So to fill out these hundreds of forms for the trade with European community, only people who are producers in a big style can finance the costs of this kind of trade. So the regulation is very hard. I know also from Switzerland, so it's practically impossible at the moment because you should open a factory with highly sterile environment practically.
Exactly. So now what's happening in Thailand, because there are already thousands of cricket farms in Thailand, they can regroup and they can work together to make it possible. But it's probably the only country in the world, and they can do it only with crickets, which is only one species. And crickets are not enough. We were talking before about mealworms, about silkworms, about many other insects. Well, as long as they're not a big production, it will never be allowed anywhere.
But your insects are mostly from wild caught. I've seen that on the live trap, except for the silkworms. Also, the crickets here are wild caught. They are not from farming.
Absolutely.
What is the problem for you if somebody introduces regulations for limiting wild catch of insects? Would that be possible here? No. That they suddenly say you should not take too many insects from the wild?
At the moment it's just one restaurant. The problem will not come from us, but it might become a problem. You're right. For example, for the tarantulas, the problem does not come from consumption. It comes from deforestation. This is the real problem. It's the destruction of the habitat. Definitely.
Yeah, that's what you see here in Cambodia. Also, it's every place is a big rice field. There's practically no bigger vegetation.
But if insects become eaten on a larger scale, your question is totally relevant. We cannot take everything from the wild and just don't care. Farming is definitely the solution. And then there should be rules. At the moment, it's just.
It's at the beginning.
Yes, it's the beginning. It's not something that can be a problem. If people eat more and more insects, it will become a problem, of course. So,
did you see a decline of the amount of insects in the last 3 years when you are here? You can mostly see it in the prices also that are higher for insects.
No,
or is it stable?
The problem is that the price depends on many things, and not only the abundance of where. For example, if a Chinese company arrives on the countryside and says, "Okay, we need 200 people to go cut some trees over there," and they pay much more, and so at this moment we have to pay my insects much higher, much more expensive. So the price is not a sign, and to be honest, I don't know.
So the price is more or less the same, like
no. It's always like that. That's the problem.
It's changing.
It's changing. It's once again, it's not an organized industry, and you can feel it exactly by the prices. The prices are very volatile. It's never the same. Sorry.
No.
And so, you asked me if there are less insects than before. To be honest, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't go hunt them and everything. I have absolutely no idea.
So, but at the moment, you have no problem with the supply of supply chain of the insect that you use in your.
At the moment, no
okay.
problem.
So I heard from a man who is in the beekeeping business also that he said people should learn to sustainably harvest the bee brood of the Apis dorsata, of the giant honeybee. What do you think about projects like this?
Well, it goes in the right way, of course. It's excellent, especially bees. Bees are a crucial problem now. People talk about it everywhere. I have customers here who told me, you sell bees larvae. It's not very sustainable because, and which I understand. After his very small quantity, I mean, it's only one of our dishes that has a few larvae in it. I mean, we maybe eat in this place 100 larvae every week, so it's really not that much. But after, if it becomes a problem, I will stop selling it directly.
So the problem is also that it's very valuable. The bee drone larvae are very expensive. I heard about $10 a kilo or something.
Yes, it's very expensive. Yeah.
Price for people here, so everybody's hunting them down. And habitat is destructed. So that's one of the problems coming to us.
Okay.
As long as it's not possible to rear them or making.
But once again, it's like for fish, or like as we said before, farming is definitely a solution because you make the resource endless when you farm.
Which one are the top insects here in your restaurant that you say this is the hit list of the edible insects?
Most people come here they want to try spiders and scorpions.
Okay.
Basically. And
but that's also because in Cambodia it's exclusive. You don't find it so much in Thailand or other places.
True.
Probably.
And because these are the most impressive also.
Okay.
You make the best Facebook pictures with this one.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's best marketing.
And this is the marketing part, yes.
And
afterwards,
the fear factor.
And the fear, exactly. Yeah, but afterwards, after eating, the most popular are the spiders, once again, which is quite funny because it's the scariest in the beginning, but definitely the most popular afterwards because the taste is absolutely awesome. Yeah. And the crickets. The crickets are very appreciated also.
Okay. So that's a little bit different to Thailand. There is ants are number one, probably, and then bee larvae, and then this is probably the hit list from. But spiders, it's not only one species that is eaten here. I think I've seen yesterday that you have two species of spiders.
Here we serve only one species.
Oh, one species.
Yeah.
Okay. But it was a smaller one and the bigger one. Probably on the
it depends on the rate. That's it. But it's exactly the same.
Okay, so this is difficult to cultivate because they have a long lifespan and they don't grow so fast. Are there already people farming spiders?
I've heard there were some farms.
Because in Europe we have some people who do that. Yeah?
Who work on it, of course, but I've never seen that with my own eyes.
Okay.
We buy from hunters.
Okay. So they just wild collect to go into the forest and pick them out.
It's quite amazing to see. You can go with our scorpion and spider hunter if you want. It's half a day and you will see how he does that. It's very interesting.
A lot of work, I know, from Thailand also to find them and pick them out of the ground. So what about change of the menu card? Is that the definite card now for the next 10 years, or what do you think about changing the menu or opening another restaurant with a different kind of?
We will see. Of course, if you don't want to get bored too quickly when you run a restaurant, you have to change the menu from time to time, of course. We're going to make it evaluate, of course.
Yeah.
And after opening others, yes, I would love to, of course. I would love to. It takes a long time and we must be patient because we're not very rich.
It
depends. We need money and time. But we're ready, definitely, if someone wants to help.
So how many persons you can serve here? So for
here around 70.
Without
80.
having too much stress. Okay, 70, 80 a day. Yeah, So I have I've seen a restaurant in Hanoi, Vietnam, where the owner opened 2 restaurants after he found out that it works. So it could be like the next McDonald's
Yes, we'll see.
that you export from Cambodia.
I wouldn't like to become like that.
What would be the most urgent question for scientists to answer you from the side of insects?
Say it again, sorry?
The question that you have to scientists to find out about insects.
For scientists to find out about insects?
What should we research really about insects for food?
I really believe in farming. So techniques, farming techniques that might concern more insects. For example, the silkworms. They're full of proteins, calcium, omega-3, iron, vitamins. It's a fantastic ingredient.
An insect, in fact.
So I've never heard of a large-scale production.
Yeah.
This might be definitely interesting. This is rich food. It's and once again, farming. Yeah, then two little species of insects are farmed today. It would be nice if there could be more.
Thanks, Davy Blouzard.
I hope
you have big success, and everybody who's interested to come to Cambodia, see the Box Cafe here. It's very near to the center. You will find it if you ask in your hotel. Everybody knows the Box Cafe, and everybody knows Davy Blouzard. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Daniel.